The sports news never stops and the rapid rundown continues. This week we have a football-filled episode as the hottest three topics in New York sports revolve around the Jets and the Giants. My guest this week is someone who loves the game on the gridiron. He is the CEO of U Stadium, one of the best digital platforms out there covering the National Football League. Frankie Vittorini. Frankie, what's up, my man?
Man, Dexter, you're the man, dude. Thanks for inviting me. I appreciate you.
No, man, good to have you here because this week, as I said, it's going to be all about football with you. I know this is your love. I know we have to do that. We got a lot of stuff.
I know some NBA too. A little MLB,
but for this week we're going to do football. this week we're going to do football. All right. So what we're going to do this week, guys, we talk about the three hottest topics in New York sports. We're going to discuss some preseason hot takes. Yes, we're going to talk about hot takes for the Jets and the Giants. Joe Schoen making a preseason trade, but first we're going to talk about the New York Jets. Frankie, some shocking news coming out of training camp on Wednesday. Wideout Corey Davis for Gang Green announced that he is stepping away from football. He announced this on Instagram. The Jets placed him on the reserve retired list. So I got to ask you this. On a scale of 1 to 10, how shocking is this move, and how much do you think this impacts the Jets roster?
So I would say probably a 6. So Corey wasn't really around much throughout training camp. He was in and out, going through some personal stuff. So it was almost expected in a way that maybe he'd miss a few games, maybe he'd miss some time, but for him to retire came out of left field. But from from a fan perspective, from a coaching perspective, I think we have the pieces on offense to move forward and for it not to be as detrimental to the team as maybe some people think. I think, McCole Hardman offers a lot of value as your wide receiver 3. Allen Lazard we brought in here to really, stretch the field and work with Aaron. He's known him for a while. And we have Garrett Wilson. Garrett, my man, Garrett. I mean, that's the guy.
Yeah. I got everybody, if you didn't notice, for Frankie, please just pop the shirt out there. He's got the great shirt out there showing all the Jet fandom, DJ Sauce, Garrett, and Rogers. I like the shirt, man.
I just miss Quinnen on here. We couldn't fit him in.
You couldn't fit him in there, but I like the shirt. You came out here repping. So when you look at this move by Corey Davis, so look, anytime you have somebody go on the reserve retired list, they're 28 years old, expected to be a major part of your team. Are you concerned about the depth at all at wide receiver, or is it because of the guys you mentioned you feel fine with what the Jets have going to war for the 2023 season?
There's one thing I'm concerned with.
Okay.
It's Allen Lazard and his ability to stay healthy. Because if Lazard goes down, and he struggled in his career playing consistently, so I don't know if he's going to be able to give us 16 games, 17 games. I don't know. He might give us 12, 13 games, and the games that he's out for, Hardman becomes your 2. You have to play Cobb more. Are we going to keep this Brownlee kid around? We may. I think we should. So from a depth perspective, we probably need another receiver to come in. Maybe we sign someone that gets cut over the next couple of weeks, or we sign a free agent that's available. There's a few hot names out there. I know I like Jarvis Landry, T.Y. Hilton's out there. So maybe you pick up one of these vets that can come in and just give you value. But yeah, it's concerning because Lazard's injury history shows that he probably won't play 17 games. So if he doesn't, you don't have that depth. So
yeah, that could definitely impact the Jets. We will see how that goes with them. I know you're pretty excited about the season.
Oh, I'm very excited.
I know you. I know.
I'm pumped, man. For the first time in a long time. Literally, it's been a long time. I don't think I've ever been this excited for a season. Maybe the Favre year, but I was young.
Well,
I wasn't that young.
The
but
last time they took a quarterbaard from Green Bay. Things didn't end so well that year.
Yeah, well, he got hurt. If he didn't get hurt, I don't know, man.
Maybe it's different.
We wouldn't have won the Super Bowl, though.
Hoping for different vibes this year. Jet fans are hoping for different vibes. Okay, we're going to talk about the Giants, and the Giants made a trade this week, Frankie. You rarely see this, a trade, although there's been a couple in the NFL. There's been some trades during training camp, but they made this trade before the start of the 2023 season. They give up a 7th-round choice in 2024, send that to the Cardinals to acquire safety Isaiah Simmons. What do you make of that move for Big Blue?
I think it's a great move. I think the way they want to play defense in New York, on the other side, with Wink Martindale and the way he likes to run his schemes, Isaiah Simmons fits in perfectly. He could play in the box. He could play on the outside. He plays deep. He also plays up in the box. You can move him around all over the place, which is what the Giants are trying to do. You have Ojulari coming back. Obviously, Kayvon is in year 2. So you're going to give him a lot of flexibility, your defensive coordinator, to put these guys in peculiar spots, run different stunts, and it causes havoc, and that's what the name of the game is. And a lot of these more old school style defensive coordinators, they love to just cause havoc for offenses. They want to, launch a hurricane in there. So Isaiah Simmons is a type of player that can really do a lot for the Giants. And, he's averaged over 100 tackles the last 2 years. He was a top 10 pick at a point. I mean, he's got a lot of talent. Sometimes, though, these players like Isaiah Simmons, it's tough to really point out where they play specifically. It's kind of like, a jack of all trades, but, maybe not a master of one. So I want to see if he's able to just consistently play at that safety position. But maybe they just want to move him around, and we'll see.
Man, look, and you mentioned versatility helps, right? You need that on defense. That is something that is key right now in the National Football League. You got to have that versatility and able to create havoc or a hurricane, like you said. So speaking of the Giants' defense, right? Because I think some people are looking for them to possibly make a jump this year defensively. What are your expectations for the Giants' defense in 2023?
Yeah, so in 2022, the Giants struggled mightily against the run. They had, I think, 6 interceptions last year, which is bottom 5 in the NFL. They really struggled to do the little things that a defense needs to do to just move forward. They were considered on many next-gen stats as being a bottom 5 defense. That won't be the case this year. I think their roster's shaping out. They're bringing in talent. They got Bobby Okereke. We're speaking about how to pronounce his last name before.
Oh, you got it.
I got it right. But he's a tackling machine, and they struggled against the run. And now you have these defensive linemen that are healthy, Ojulari, and you have obviously Dexter Lawrence, and Leonard Williams was hurt last year too. The Giants really got hit by a lot of injuries last year. And their defense reminds me a lot of the green and white. They're very good up front. Their D-line can do a lot of different things. They have linebackers that can play and make consistent tackles so you can stop the run. So I think this year they're going to be better. Are they going to be in that top 15 category? I don't know yet. The secondary, I'm not sold on the secondary yet. They're probably going to start 2 rookies at corner, Trey Hawkins and Banks. I don't know if they're going to be able to stop some of the passing schemes that they're just going to get thrown at them. So we'll see. But I trust the coaching staff that they have there, so I think they'll figure it out and be better than they were last year.
All right, so you think they will be better than they were last year. We will see. The Giants do have some talent there. We'll see how that Giants defense shapes out in 2023. Okay, last topic. I'm excited about this one because we're going to have some fun
this
one. Frank, I know you're going to have fun with this one. I can't even wait. We don't usually do this. We don't usually talk about hot takes. But the Jets and Giants, they play their final preseason game, Snoopy Bowl. I'm still calling it that. I'm still calling it the Snoopy Bowl. Final preseason game, they'll play against each other. I want to know a little bit about your hot takes for the Jets and the Giants heading into this 2023 season. So let's start with the Giants, okay? We're going to start with the Giants first before we get to the Jets and your Jets fandom. What's your hottest take for the 2023 New York Giants?
Okay, so I think the Giants will be a top 5 seed in the NFC.
Ooh, okay.
I think they win another playoff game. And I think Saquon has an unbelievable year. If we want to talk fantasy, I love fantasy. He'll have a top 3 fantasy season at running back. He's in a contract year, quote unquote. He's on the 1-year deal. He's going to try to prove himself to get the bag next offseason, which he probably deserves, but it's how the running back position is. I think Saquon's going to go crazy this year, and I think it's another year being in Daboll's system, and Mike Kafka's done an awesome job there too, even though some fans are a little iffy on him. He's very, very good. I think it's another year for the offense to get better, and the defense, like we just discussed, has some additions to their roster. A lot of injuries they had, now they're not. injured to start the season. So I just think the Giants are going to be a top 5 seed and win another playoff game, and Saquon's going to go crazy.
All right, I think
I don't know if that's a hot take. It's kind of like what they did last year in a sense, but
it was a little lukewarm.
You know what? Their foundation is being built. I don't think they didn't put it all. They didn't, put all the stucco in yet. Like we got to give it some time.
And that's fine sometimes with the team, right? You can have a team that the Giants very possibly could have the same record they had last year, hopefully not to tie, but and they can be a better team. That can actually happen. They can have the same record and still be a better team. We could see that happen. So I like your take. I think some people will. I think Giants fans will take that. Maybe they wanted to be a little hotter. Maybe they wanted you to say Super Bowl. You weren't willing to go there. But let's see where you go with the Jets. Because with the Jets, as you know, Frankie, a lot of attention on this team. A lot of talk about the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers being around. They're on Hard Knocks. What's your hot take for Gang Green? I feel like you're about to jump into the fire.
I got you now.
Here. Yeah,
no lukewarm now.
No lukewarm takes here.
Putting the burners on, baby. All right, and I'm trying to be not a homer here. Okay. I'm trying to be unbiased.
All right.
I really think the Jets are going to go to the Super Bowl. I really do. And it's not because of just Aaron Rodgers. It's because of their defense. I think this Jets defense is going to end up being one of the best defenses, not only of recent NFL history, I think of all time NFL history.
Spicy.
The Jets front seven is awesome. The defensive line, the way we can sub guys in and they don't have to play every snap and they're fresh. And we draft a guy like Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson has another year and Bryce Huff, Quinnen Williams. We're not even talking about John Franklin Myers. The rotations are going to be crazy and they're going to drive offensive linemen and OCs nuts. So I just think we're going to get after the quarterback better than we have in recent memory. And we have the best cornerback duo, I think, in football. So I just think when you look at the defense, they're going to give the offense so much leeway to just have to score 21, 24 points. You don't have to go and drop 34, 38 points. No, score 24, we'll hold it down, to 17, 20, and we'll win. And with Rodgers there, he's the guy that's going to manage the operation on offense. I don't think Rodgers needs to come in and throw for 4,600 yards and 35 touchdowns. But I think the way he thinks about the game and the way he knows where everyone is, he's going to be able to effectively just move the ball downfield and not turn the ball over like we've seen with Jets quarterbacks for however long. And just last thing, you look at the team, we have top 5 talent at many positions. Rodgers is a top 5 talent at quarterback. Dalvin Cook and Brees, you could say, are top 5 talents at running back. Garrett Wilson, you can make a point, as a top 5 talent at receiver. Defensive line, Quinnen Williams, top 5 talent at D-line. Corner, top 5 talent. I mean, this is a stacked freaking roster. And I don't think people realize how, they do, obviously, with all the media coverage, but this team, I think, is going to the Super Bowl. I really do.
Okay. This is good. We have a bonus question. But Frankie, he jumped in the fire with that hot take. One of the best defenses of all time you have for the Jets. I do think the Jets defense all time. You really took a hot take there. I like it. I like that you jumped right into the fire.
I'm telling you.
I liked it. Okay. You jumped right into
After
the
it
fire
happens,
now.
am I allowed back on?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely allowed to come back on. You have to come back on. You got to come back and bask in the glory of your hot take being right. You can't just sit there and be calm about it. You got to bask in that glory. Okay, so we usually do 3 topics, but this week we got a bonus question because we have Frankie here, because we've been talking about football. I got to ask him about the Super Bowl. I'm putting you in the hot seat again. This is the hot seat right over there. Prediction time. Who do you have coming out of the AFC? Sounds like it might be the Jets. And who do you have coming out of the NFC this year? And who wins Super Bowl 58? So give me your AFC pick, your NFC pick, and who wins Super Bowl 58. Where are you going? I have a feeling I know where you're going, but where are you going?
All right, well, I said the Jets already, so the Jets are going to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I'm going to think it and say it into existence. They're going to the Super Bowl. And I have a hot take, or semi-hot take, with the NFC.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the Seattle Seahawks are going to have a heck of a year. I love what they've been doing in recent drafts. They got Charbonnet, this great running back out of UCLA, who's going to come in, and him and Kenneth Walker are really going to give teams fits on the ground. They got JSN, who's awesome. I mean, he's hurt now, but he's going to give them awesome value at wide receiver 3/wide receiver 2. I think Geno Smith finally got into his own. I think he finally feels comfortable and confident in the position, and he just delivers the football, and he has the weapons to move the football down the field. Noah Fant, another great piece to that puzzle. And I love that they brought in my guy, Bobby Wagner, on defense. So their defense struggled last year, but Bobby Wagner's in town now, and he's the leader that they've been looking for a bit since he left, actually. And, you have Tyreek Woolen, who's, tied for the interception lead last year. I think the Seahawks are, and because the NFC is a little weaker, I think the Seahawks are going to get out of the NFC and play the New York Jets in Super Bowl 58.
58?
Yes, and it's going to be Geno Smith
against his former team.
Pete Carroll kind of too against his former team.
You're just asking for all the drama here.
I want all the smoke in Super Bowl 58.
Now, how are you going to feel if Geno Smith beats the Jets?
How it's not going to happen.
That's not. So you're picking the Jets to win.
The Jets are winning the Super Bowl.
Wow, and you smacked the table.
Yes, I had to.
That's the emphasis.
I did it for Aaron Boone, my guy.
Wow, that is a hot take Super Bowl pick. Not just the Jets are going to win, because some other people feel that way, but you got the Seahawks going there.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. This has been fun, Frankie.
Yeah, you're the man, Dexter.
No, well, listen, man. I'm glad you were able to join me on the Rapid Rundown. It's the first time we did all football. I'm sure we will do it again. But I want everybody to check out the work of Frankie Vittorini. He is the CEO of U Stadium. Go check out that platform. As I said, it's one of the best digital platforms out there. Frankie, got to have you back on to do this again. We got to do
whenever,
it.
my man. You're the best.
Man. Appreciate
Thank you so much.
Again, check out Frankie and his work. We appreciate you guys watching the Rapid Rundown this week. We'll be back next week with another episode. Until next time, guys. Peace.